Yo, what's up, y'all? This Gemaine. Make sure y'all check out my interview with Duane.
So I gotta tell you, I was listening to Freaky and stuff like that. Like I really dived into
Yeah.
your discography, and I
Yeah.
was like, for the first song for him to be saying some shit like this, I'm like,
Right.
what was that? The pre or was that the hook that you just went
for it.
You just went.
I know.
Did you write that yourself?
I wrote it with a girl I was dealing with at the time.
Okay.
And it's so funny because that was like the first song I ever put out, and before that I was just like this like quiet, church kid doing theater sometimes and like acting and stuff. But I stepped out and just randomly put a song out, and then like not only was it just a surprise to like people who knew of me or went to school with me, but even my family, like people was like, what the
Right.
I was never even really out there about singing or doing music at all. And honestly, I didn't try to be an art. When I put that song out, I wasn't like trying to be an artist. It just kind of
happened.
Yeah, it just kind of fell into it.
You were already like utilizing Vine and stuff like that.
Exactly. I was just doing it, but it was just me being a 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid just having fun. So
I had that. What I was like, what age
Yeah.
were you when you was talking your shit like that?
yeah.
But it's so good that you were able to express yourself like that, because I
Right.
feel like that at such a young age,
Yeah.
so that, I mean, we still young and so like that.
Right.
When we first put ourselves out there,
Right.
when it comes to like lyrical concept like
Right.
that in R&B, people are like, oh my goodness, like,
Right.
you just say that like,
Right.
we got our moms, like
Right.
what the,
Right.
our aunts, our grandmothers,
Exactly.
we got, our female cousins, like,
Right.
yeah. We got our homies, rooting us on.
Right.
With that, were you shy at all, just kind of going straight in like that, or you were just like, you know what, let it have, fuck it?
Man, I was all of those things. I was shy about doing music in general and singing in general. I like just didn't like to sing, or try to like let people know that I could sing like that. I just was but at the same time, I reached a point where I just was like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna just start singing, and started doing it on Vine, and then put that song out eventually. And yeah, at that time when I put the song out, I was just like, you know what, fuck it, let's just, I was just doing shit. I wasn't thinking too hard about it.
Now, was this during when you were in New York, or were you
No,
still
I did
here?
this when I did.
So
This
this was
when I
prior
was
to
out
going
here.
to New York.
Yeah, this was before going to New York. This when I was like still in Compton and just figuring life out. Was at Cerritos College for like a month or two, a semester. I really, yeah, I was just like really figuring life out at that point, and just like finally like making moves and doing stuff because it's what I wanted to do rather than like the pressures of like what other people, family doing and like what everybody else doing. I just kind of started to finally figure out what I like to do.
Right. So take us back to being that kid
Right.
in Compton when you discovered your love for music.
Right.
Tell us about growing up, and then not only that, was it R&B that kind of gave you, like, was your love first, or was it gospel? And
Yeah, it was definitely gospel. Like I definitely was I always had a love for music, and I've had a I was always fascinated and like into it, wanting to play the drums or like, do stuff within music, whether it be in a choir or whatever. I've always had a interest in it, but it wasn't until I started where I started to really like get good at trying to sing, and like really like hone in on it. I remember I used to talk to this girl, and I used to always she was one of the few that knew I know how to sing, so she would ask me to like send her like voice notes of me doing like certain songs. And,
Oh,
like,
wow.
I just wasn't good. The thing that was always in me from even a young age was a perfectionist. So like, I hear it back and I'd hate it. So it's been like I didn't even realize. And I think about it, that was like my first like that was my real like first grooming myself vocally.
Right.
Was just always trying to have the perfect voice note to send to some chick that I like. So yeah, I just kind of that was my time where I started to really like practice and hone in on my voice.
And so then, so she was the only one who knew you could sing. Like no one knew at all.
Nah, people knew. Some people knew, but it definitely was just like if you know kind of thing.
So you really kept it under the radar.
I really definitely kept it under the radar. Like, it's a lot of people in middle school and high school that be like, man, I never knew. I'm like, yeah, I wasn't really trying to.
Like, well,
I wasn't really trying to. I wasn't really even, trying to do that.
Was it more so because you didn't really want the attention, like, on you, or was it one of those things where you just kind of felt like, let me kind of hone in on this before I start to be like, all right, I got something here.
Right.
Let me,
Yeah, nah, it was just kind of, I was just kind of shy about it. And, also just like all my family was like, is in music, all my cousins and stuff, they like do music. My brother, my two brothers do music. And so like, it was just something that I felt like everybody was doing. So I just was like, all right, let me find my own way or find my own something that, is different than what all my family doing. And then like all my family that was doing it and was like super talented, they were just like way more trying to like, it was way more of, the culture with them was like way more just, keep it under wraps and like, we only do it in church or in the studio, but like we ain't really like out there as far as, we are, musicians slash like singers and
Right.
we're talented, like they weren't, not necessarily boastful, but they just weren't, sharing that. I guess they wasn't sharing.
They were humble.
I mean, yes, humble was definitely part of it, but I feel like it was more than a humble thing. It was just more of a like secrecy, like sacred, and like, I understand the sacredcy of, your gift and talent and like sharing your gift, but I also understand that like it's also a blessing to share your gift and people love that and people will learn to like love you and appreciate you because of that. So
Right.
I've always
What God wants us to
exactly share it. So I was like I feel like I was one of the first out of the family to just switch that up and start just sharing the gift. And that's kind of how it happened.
So then, where did the aspect of learning instruments come in? Was that from church as well?
That was from church. Okay. Yeah, that's all from church. That's from my auntie. Shout out to my auntie. She taught the whole family how to do music. I got cousins and brothers that's in the music industry, and we all learned from one woman. So,
Wow.
Yeah, she's crazy. She's like an alien. Like can play everything at a very well level. Like she's dope.
Oh, that's amazing. So then that kind of helped you with even producing too.
To some degree, yeah, because like if you just understand music to a certain degree, you can like pick up on anything.
True.
It won't be that hard of a transition, I'll say.
Yeah. So then, Freaky, the streams are at 5.8 million views on YouTube.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I ain't even be keeping up lately anymore.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So did that song just kind of lead on to the idea of wanting to do a full-on project, or was it seeing the response from Vine then lead, to these projects that you?
It was seeing Freaky do well that got me into music for sure. Even after it was doing well, I just was like, oh, I mean, I honestly, it was so funny. Like at the time, social media, like I was like really, really late to having a phone and just social media in general. So seeing like my shit go off, I didn't even really understand it or understand the power.
The social media at that time was still like
Early.
blossoming to what it is now.
Yeah, it was still very early. And I just think, that was part of what was special about, me at that time was just like I was just really just just doing my thing and not really trying to, be too, tactical about it. I was just really just expressing myself. And I feel like people could like see that. Yeah, it took Freaky going crazy, and it was like I'll never forget it was like some YouTube video like next up in R&B, and I seen me and I'm like, dang, maybe I could do this, so it took that and seeing how people just react and like just constant love and appreciation for just me, expressing myself, with singing and stuff. Like seeing that kind of impact made me like want to get into it and really do it, and made me like, feel like, oh, whoa, I do have a purpose.
Right. And you're definitely following that purpose. And
Yeah.
even though it's like your career is just getting started and stuff like that, I really do feel like you're in the class of
Yeah.
the who's next on the
Right.
rise when it comes to
Right.
R&B and stuff like
Right,
that.
for sure.
Because I mean, like your vocals are like so freaking killer. Some of your musical influences is like Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
right?
yes, sir.
Bobby Brown.
Michael, Bobby, for sure. Bobby more on a just like personal
And the
personality.
swag.
Yeah,
I
just
can
the
see
swag,
that. Yeah.
I definitely like Bobby. I appreciate vocalists like Marvin, even Stevie, Frank, and Bruno. Like I do have
I did hear a little bit of
appreciation.
Bruno in this
Yeah.
latest project. I was like, especially with that
Yeah.
record with you and Guav Dad.
Yeah,
Shout out to our
exactly.
boy Guav Dad.
Right, exactly. Yeah, nah, like shout out to Guap. But yeah, nah, I definitely have appreciation for vocalists like them, and gospel vocalists as well, like Donnie McClurkin and the Clark sisters, even Dietrich Haddon. I definitely Dietrich Haddon,
Dietrich.
the guy,
One of those artists. He's been on the show. He's front of the show as well too.
dope.
And one of those artists that people really don't talk about enough. But his talent is just like,
Oh no, yeah, I used to love.
he's ridiculous.
I used to love Dietrich Haddon back in the day, and used to love his runs and how he would do his vowels. Definitely appreciated him. Yeah, it's appreciate greatness in everyone and everything. So
And how important would you say, throughout your younger years to now, still younger years?
right.
Hard emphasis on that. Is it to study the grades, but then also to study your peers as well? And then, but then not only that, but then to study your previous works so that you can become even greater.
Yeah, I think you gotta know what came before you to know to know where you're trying to go. And at the same time, it's important to know what's going on right now, to know how to translate what you're trying to do to like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I would like to make Bobby Brown type music, Michael Jackson type music, all these oldies type music, but you kind of need to be tapped into like what everybody doing right now, and just where music sonically is, to know how to like do it in a newer, fresher way. So that's the way I see it. It's important to be tapped in and knowing and appreciate and just be a fan of what's going on now, and what's been going on. That is your guidance, that is your compass. So that's the way I see it.
And you are literally doing that, especially with this new project that you have with
appreciate it.
Charlie Heat. I love this
appreciate
new
it.
Jack City project. It's so incredible. You guys are like literally going through like that time, that era, but not even just that, but just different sounds, sonically. Just you guys linking up, him finding you and stuff like that, and then just kind of having that relationship like that. What was the whole experience? Tell us about that, because that's what I want to know.
Linking up with Charlie,
and then getting to this project.
Yeah. So Charlie wound up discovering me. I guess people sent him my work when I was working on my project Lefty. It was when I put out my first single,
which has
What's Going On.
Bangers.
Nah, I appreciate
What's Going On. We're gonna talk about that, but I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah. So What's Going On, that was like the first single I put out. And I guess people sent it to him, and then we got acquainted from that. And we had a session in some time ago. We had a session from that session we wind up just really clicking. Brought my homie YMTK to pull up, and we just all like clicked and like really just vibed together, and just like, yo, we like doing music together, let's just keep doing it. And it just kind of turned and evolved into like a little group project, which we call like New Jack City. So that's how it kind of worked out.
Yeah, and I love the project. I even love the fact that what you've been doing consistently, doing the acoustic and stripped down videos like that, and you even did it with this project, keeping that level of consistency of what you've done previously is to now current. It's like that. How important is that so that you're not, you know, going too off from what you've done previous? Because there's sometimes where people, as not even people, let me say that again. There's sometimes as artists we go in different directions that really work for us, but we don't hone back into that. And people ask like, "Hey, why don't you just keep that keep that going?" It was a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I definitely think it's what I think the thing that could be consistent or that is consistent with me and important is showing off the vocal ability and showing off the letting my vocals highlight, killing the noise, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what people I feel like that's what people gravitated to was the voice, and what they liked about me was the voice, not the type of song. I mean, obviously the songs, if it's a killer song, it'll obviously go up.
Right.
But I feel like what separates me with other people is my voice and the my skill with it. So I just always try to make sure I'm just tapping into that and like doing things consistently that are able to show that. And I feel like me doing acoustics is something that allows me to do that. But I think it's also important to me and like my growth and like what satisfies me is constantly allowing myself to evolve as an artist and do different things. And I feel like where music is today, a lot of artists, every top artist, I feel like, has the diversity to like be on any track. And I just feel like that's the evolvement of artists, like so many rappers who ain't rapping really, but they're considered rappers. So many R&B who ain't really singing, but they consider R&B. Everybody just everywhere.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's like a lane wide open. Lanes wide open.
Yeah, man. It's just really a freeway. It ain't even lanes anymore. Everybody just merging into everything. So
like, let's do this.
Everybody merging into everything. So. I feel like that is the new way of the game, and I'm kind of just, I think it's great. It better suits me. I hate being in a box or trying to fit this box, so I'm glad where it's at, and I'm really excited about this new wave of music I'm gonna put out too, because I'm a really, it was dope doing, the little group project, but I'm excited to get back to my, the Gemaine, music and like see what this new wave of, music is gonna be. I'm definitely tapping way more into, how it was when I, first started, which is just genuinely, doing it, and not thinking too hard about like how it looks, not thinking too hard about if people, if this what people, expect from me, I'm getting back to just doing it and just feeling, life and just putting it into the music.
Right. And you have to do that. You have to live and experience life.
Yeah.
So you've already started to work on this project, right?
Yeah, I've been working on it and definitely really close to, it being done and ready to press the button on it.
That play button.
Yeah, it's almost time, so I'm excited about that.
So we're looking at spring.
Definitely looking at this year. So spring, around that time.
Okay.
Sure.
What can you say about this project, just from the takeaway from just being able to work on this project versus the others you've been able to take away?
This project,
yeah,
it's definitely fresh with what I'm dealing with. Like it's something I feel like it's finally a project that I'm putting out with, with something that I'm experiencing, like as as we speak. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fresh to me. I'm like actually like putting my life and sharing my my life. With the music, and I feel like with the world, and I feel like in the past it's always been either things inspired by or a delay of what I went through, like I'd be putting something out, but that was something I was going through like 2 years ago. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's going to be.
I think that is one of those things that creatives, we
get irritated. It's so irritating.
And then we're like, wait, it's like, damn, I just want to drop this right now.
Right.
You're like,
right.
I can't.
Right. That is the most frustrating. Like the most frustrating. And then, it definitely be the worst when like the wave comes and like, man, I was already on it, and then it's like when you put it out, it's like it ain't as fresh anymore. That could be really frustrating. But yeah, that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited that it's fresh, it's relatively new, and it's what I'm dealing with, right now. So.
And that's important that you're going to put out a project literally while you're still going through the things that you're experiencing in life. I feel like that's important. That way people can even dive into more of your personality and stuff and get a chance to know you, especially when you do shows and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Which we haven't seen any live performances yet this year.
Yeah.
So,
definitely working on that.
Any in the cards? Because that's what they want to know.
It's definitely in the process. That I take pride in my live shows, and I'm only getting better at them, like more and more. So I definitely that is one thing I just know about myself is I am a performer, and I love to perform.
You be performing
and I bring
in
it every
videos too,
right? So like I know I'm a performer, man, and that's another layer to me that people I think people will grow to appreciate,
and especially performing in that conditional lover video. So I was like, right. You want to just break out and do choreography? Like, come on, dancer.
Yeah, that wasn't even choreo. That was just us having fun. It was a lot of dancers.
Yeah.
So happened to be a lot of dancers there. So we just kind of just like, they just was kind of like feeding. Everybody was just feeding off each other. I'm glad. That was one of my favorite videos I shot for sure.
And I can tell that it is because you just were living in that moment, having a good time. I love seeing videos like that because for other creators and just fans, it's like that. They can dive into your personality. When they see that you believe it, they're going to be more than willing to believe it. They're like, oh, where's...
Right.
When you went at that Peppermint Club, when you went at SOBs, when you at the Roxy in LA,
exactly.
When you at, speaking of New York, we got to get back to that.
Oh, yeah.
But that's when people are wanting to invest in many different ways.
For sure.
And from doing performances and stuff like that in just different cities, how has that experience been to be able to have the opportunity to perform live? Because a lot of independent artists aren't afforded that opportunity.
I know.
At all.
I know.
And they're killer. But they just aren't afforded that opportunity. Or they don't take the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Man, it's been a roller coaster. Because like it's been a hurdle for me, with performing. Earlier in my years, I just had this like certain thing where I would just always get hoarse right before I sing. And I feel like it was out of nervousness and just out of just like being very undisciplined. So it just, I had a lot of downs, earlier in my years with performing. But just a couple years ago, I started to like really hit a stride of, being more disciplined and just more comfortable with myself and just being on stage as well. But it definitely has been a roller coaster, and I love it every time I'm able to be on stage and sing and just let out, my energy. You know what I'm saying? It's fun and it's cool to, be influential.
Yeah.
In that kind of way, in that kind of platform. So I love doing it. I love performing.
And how long would you say the preparation is for you and stuff like that?
Man, I mean, it depends. Like, I think it just depends on what kind of situation it is. Like, if I'm just kind of getting thrown on, just, hey, perform in this little hole in the wall, with a little DJ set, I'll just really prep for like, a week before. But if, I'm definitely trying to tour this year. And when I'm afforded that opportunity, I'm gonna definitely prep like months in advance. Like it just depends on the situation.
Yeah,
I'm gonna always be prepared for sure.
Preparation is key.
Yeah, it's big. It's big, definitely with me.
And then being a perfectionist.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You're always prepared.
Exactly
for those moments.
And a part of that. That's also what I realized. That's what I'm saying. Like, being undisciplined and comfortable with myself. Like those are two big key things, and I realized that's all in the preparation. The more I practice, the more comfortable I am with it. You know, and I don't have to think too much about it. And the more, you know, the more I practice, the more disciplined I am as well. You know what I'm saying? Like the more it's just second nature to me. So yeah, that's like the biggest thing that changed with me as far as my preparation and being able to be on stage. Is I've just done it enough and I've done it so much to where now it ain't too foreign to me now. I ain't over here getting nauseous you being on stage and stuff.
Right. You're like,
right?
Like, all right, let's do this.
I'm overthinking things that I do every day.
What are some of those things that you do overthink though that people wouldn't know, or they would know about you?
Just the notes, literally just singing the notes. Like I just get a little timid about like where I want to go note wise, you know, even though I know what I want to do, but just like I just start overthinking it. I could do, you know, just to simplify it, like point A to, you know, point D. You can go A, B, you know, A, B, C, D, or A, C, E, you know what I'm saying? Right. I just start overthinking it instead of, like, I could just go straight, but I start thinking about the options.
Yeah.
Start thinking about all the options of how I can get there while I'm singing. So then I just start overthinking it and I'm like, ooh, I could go, ooh, or maybe, and then it just kind of falls apart.
Now, would you say like your process, even with recording, is almost like that?
Yes, 1,000%.
How many vocal tracks are in a session averagely for you?
Oh man. Well, you know, just off bat, just like my default template, I just have like at least 3-4 leads.
Smart.
Yeah, just cause you know it's gonna be the way I cut. I like to you know, have a scat track, and then once I have a scat track, I'll, you know, figure out words eventually if I figure out words. But I have like this real meticulous method that I like to do. So I just be needing like at least 3-4 lead tracks, an ad-lib track that I just have there for like when the song's already halfway, you know, pretty much done. Then I'm able to.
We don't need that in the beginning.
Yeah, it's just
listening to songs where they have
ad-libs for
in the beginning. Yeah. I was working with somebody, and I'm not gonna put them on blast.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you them. They literally wanted me to ad-lib in the beginning of the damn song. Every song, I'm like,
nah, yeah, I don't know that.
You gotta wait.
If you're gonna do it, at least for me, I like to do ad-libs at the very end. It's just like, it's the sauce. Definitely right now, the way I've been doing it, I do like, just try to do like a verse and a hook.
Mm-hmm.
After a verse and a hook, then I'll like let it rest. Usually, I've been way more momentum based lately. I just kind of like let the momentum guide the session. I try to like work smarter and not harder.
Yeah. So you take your time when it comes to writing.
Finishing.
Okay.
I take my time when it comes to finishing. I try to actually not take too much time when it comes to the creating process.
Okay.
And this is just now something I'm like learning that it's better to do is to not overthink it and just do it. You know, just like, okay, it could sound whack or corny lyrically, whatever, who cares? You gotta just kind of like throw it up.
Right.
And then clean it up after that. But just throw up your ideas and then like organize it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's harder to try to like be too. My favorite, I forgot where I saw that quote or that I don't know if I read it in a certain book, but it's like the same process of like taking 100 pictures or taking 10, you know, and spending the same amount of time, you know, on it. You know, if you spend the same amount of time taking 100 photos and, you know, taking 10 photos, you're going to probably get more quality photos out of those hundreds.
Right.
Rather than the 10.
That's why I hate doing photo shoots and they be like, oh, we're going to only get these back. I'm like, man, you
just spend 10 hours trying to take just 10 dope photos, you probably going to have some whack photos. Yeah. But if you got 100 photos and, you know, within that same amount of time, you're going to probably have a lot more doper stuff because you just kind of you know, the more you do and not try to like, you know, overthink it and control it, the better usually the better the outcome. You know, I think it's a time and place for all those things though. It's a time and place to overthink it. But I definitely don't think it's in the beginning process. Yeah.
Clean that to the bit.
I've learned that. I have learned that, at least for myself. You know, I can't speak for others, but I've learned that that's what's best for me.
Yeah. And then what about your time being in New York that brought you back to LA to just really work on music and stuff like that? Tell us about that. Because I love New York. Yeah. I haven't been in a couple months. But I'm just like... But New York is not the same as LA.
It's not at all.
And vice versa. For it's good for and it's bad. Yeah. But being as a creative, especially as we're still much in a pandemic, you know, we can do more here. Right. New York is definitely like shut down. Yeah. But, you know, things are still going on.
Yeah. No, I definitely, I consider New York my college years, my Miami LeBron years, you know. I just feel like that was my time period of really growing as a individual and establishing, you know, habits that, you know, will just kind of be with me and stay with me forever. You know, it taught me how to hustle, being out in New York. And, you know, it taught me how to just have tougher skin and then just like fuck how it looks, you know? Definitely growing up in LA and, you know, being in LA, you've learned to be laid back and, you know, care about how it looks. You know, that's just the kind of shit that, you know, that's just the culture out here, you know, people come out here to polish their careers. You know, people come out here to, you know, when they already, you know, got past that, you know, threshold of trying to like, you know, the actors, they, you know, the A-list, everybody that, you know, the stars are out here. So you gotta like fake it out here to some extent, you know, if you're in the industry, you know what I'm saying? It's just like a different culture. But like in New York, it's not like that. It's like fuck how it looks, you know? And I never forget it, you know, seeing I was at one of them little block parties and it was like the DJ, the main DJ. We got there like 12. You know, I was there with my manager and, you know, a couple little boys. We got there like 12 and, you know, the main DJ DJing, met him like, okay, what's up, blah, blah, blah. We leave at like 5, 6. We in the train station. We see the same dude in the construction gear working. Yeah. And I'm like, wasn't he just... And he's like, that's New York. He's like, welcome to New York. I'm like, whoa.
We do not like we's on that.
Just it's just like fuck how it looks. Just get to the bag. Get it how you can, you know. And I've that is something I took with me and I appreciate it. And I've always been about ever since that. That like changed my whole perspective on a lot of things. So just get it how you can, fuck how it looks. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, you know. And yeah, I just always appreciated that about New York, you know. People just really hustle out there and are just real genuine assholes, you know? Like that's people out here are just as much as assholes, but they're more fake about it. Right. So I liked the fact that people were real about, you know, everything, you know, out there. So yeah, you know, I just learned to just be a go-getter out there.
And that's what it is, like being from the Northeast myself and then coming out here and then just still being in that transition period. I'm like, why is shit so damn slow? I'm like, oh, right. I got to be here at this time and do this. Like, what you mean? Like, but being able to polish a career in Los Angeles is really great. So I understand the importance, not even just as me saying that from not being from here like that, but understanding why you would want to come back to really...
Yeah, it just made sense.
Sorry, and then and be
it was the time. It was the time. You know, it was the time. It was time. But yeah, nah, definitely. That is like they're two different places for sure. Two different places.
Who are some artists that you would like to collaborate with? R&B, hip hop, pop, just in general.
Yeah.
That you haven't. I've got a few that I think you should collaborate with. But who would you like to collaborate with?
I think like Tyler the Creator, Masego. Who else? It's people. I just always forget them in the moment. I want to say the right ones, but I know Tyler, Masego.
I can give you one.
Who?
Eric Bellinger.
Eric Bellinger. Mm-hmm. Yeah. EB. Mm-hmm. He's definitely dope.
EB is one. You've collaborated with the AI Lady.
Yeah, Ali, yep.
So any plans of you guys collaborating? Because I know he's working on his project
exactly.
as well.
Oh yeah, yours. No, we've been working together, and we definitely got stuff coming out on both of our sides. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
You know who's another one I think you should work with?
Yeah,
Brandy Hayes.
Brandy Hayes. Oh yeah, I've actually came across her not too long. I've actually known of her, but it was just recently met her for the first time not too long ago.
Okay.
Yeah, no, she's dope.
She's dope. One of our good friends like that, so I can connect it.
Fire. Yeah, let's make that happen.
Yeah, because she's dope. Female-wise, R&B, who would you want to work with? Because mention Brandy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fire ones out.
It is fire ones. I think Holly would be cool. I really appreciate her vocals. Her vocals gives me like Diana Ross kind of vibes, and I just think it'd be cool to like collab with her and do like some really like cool soulful shit.
I could see that.
Yeah, like, some like Solange type shit.
Because y'all both have such a tone.
Speaking of Solange is definitely one of them. Solange. I love Solange. Definitely.
Why don't they give our good sis enough credit for just the lane of music that she's decided to do?
She's crazy.
Because her earlier stuff was great.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I know y'all like her old stuff, but
yeah, she's underrated.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen her perform live, like her recent catalog?
I haven't seen her do it live lately. No, she goes crazy.
I saw her perform live at Essence. Well, technically speaking, I was backstage at Essence doing press like that. But I did watch on the monitors, and I was just like, she's just going in. But just the fact that people were really into her show performance, it almost reminds me how people will go see Gemaine at the Greek Theater, or how they would watch Snow Allegra.
Snow is definitely one.
Snow is dope, and even though we're talking about 3 different types of R&B, female R&B and stuff like that, I would say alternative for all of them, because it's just a different lane of R&B. R&B is wide open.
It is. It really is.
And I did appreciate the fact that you were saying about not wanting to be fit in boxes and stuff like that. Do you ever have it where people, whether it be media or just tastemakers, have said, "Oh, I think your music is this," or "I think it's this," or "It doesn't fit this"?
That's what I was like fighting in my earlier years. It's just the fact that I made that song and people were constantly trying to just make me that, And
so they were stuck on the sound of Freaky. Or
just trying to mold me into this, he's a sex symbol, R&B, blah, blah, blah artist, and I'm like just growing and just, understanding myself a lot more and realizing that I am a lot more than just this one-dimensional R&B sing about sex artist,
Right.
I'm not just some Trey Songz nigga, no disrespect to Trey, like he made
it clear. But you know your lane. That's not you.
Yeah, like I just feel like I am I have more layers, to what I'm trying to do. It's not just singing and bitches kind of artist.
Because I think that's what people are constantly associating with male R&B.
Yeah,
they don't do it for when females sing. Sing to us.
Right.
It's like, why constantly put these boxes and these labels and stuff like that? But I feel like people are always going to have it.
Right.
For men and for women.
Right.
And it's always going to be a double standard.
No, for sure.
And that's a whole other conversation.
It's always going to be a double standard.
But,
it
still don't make it right.
For sure. And it's cool. But, like, at the same time, that's not even me putting it down. Like, I'm going to always be doing that.
Right.
I'm going to always have them, records that's just like, sex songs for the ladies. I'm going to always have those there. That just won't be the only thing I do.
The main focus, y'all.
You know what I'm saying?
You should dive into the catalog, please.
Yeah.
And speaking of catalog, what are name 4 songs that are your top favorite of yours?
Of mine?
Of yours that actually, let's make this even more fun. And I feel like with this conversation, I'm getting a little bit more fun with this.
Yeah.
This can be released and unreleased.
It's hard. That one. I definitely think Wait on Me is one. What's Going On is one. FOMO Acoustic is one. Which I haven't released. Yeah, FOMO. I definitely love FOMO. FOMO, What's Going On, Wait on Me. And I think Curious, the interlude, is another.
When we get that acoustic, the FOMO.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna try to get that on the next wave of music. Cause I want to get an acoustic version of FOMO.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think you should just do a whole acoustic project.
Yeah.
Just do it. Well.
It's just gonna be constantly something I do though. Like it's just gonna always be there. But I mean, yeah, I'm down for that too. Honestly, it's definitely been thought about. It's definitely been something that's already I've been kind of doing to some degree. So yeah, I wouldn't even put that past me as far as doing something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We looking forward to it.
Yeah, man.
So we like to end all of our conversations with our friends, just knowing and wanting to know, what exemplifies you not only as an artist, but as a man, a son, a friend, an entrepreneur. Just what exemplifies you and just all of those amazing multifacets that you are.
I mean, I'm going to just always be myself, I think I've come to realize that, to have a gift like this, people get a certain arrogance and I guess they abuse the gift. And God chose the right one, People always say it like, man, if I had a voice like yours, man, I'd be singing all the hoes. Or if I had a voice like this, I'd be, just doing so much with it. And I just don't. I treat it like a gift. Like it really is a gift. And I appreciate it and I don't abuse it. I don't boast about it or try to like be a certain,
That was the word we were looking for earlier. Boast.
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 Yeah, I'm not a boastful person about it. Like I see people do it all the time where they like look for the opportunity to sing to people to get a certain type of appreciation from people and certain type of praise, and I don't do it for that. I obviously admire that. I love, who doesn't love to be appreciated? I love to be appreciated, but at the same time I don't take advantage of it. It's corny to me to like just always look for the opportunity to like sing you see I can sing, I don't want to be that kind of
right.
dude. And that's why I say God chose the right one, because that's just not in me to be that kind of person. I just really treat the gift as it is a gift, and I'm appreciative of it. I'm a person first, and I treat people like the same way I want to be treated, which is with respect. And I think that's something that will always be, consistent with me, no matter how high or low I go. I'm always be a respectful, genuine person. So that is something that exemplifies me. Is I won't ever change when it comes to who I am as a person.
And I can tell that you'll never change.
Yeah.
change in good for to better certain qualities.
Yeah.
Like that, but the heart of the person that you are.
Right.
Nah.
Yeah.
Cause you a good dude.
Yeah, man. I think it's a red flag when people say I'm a humble person. Like, at least for most people, like.
Right.
when you humble, you don't have to say you humble. It just shows, and people say it for you. Mm-hmm. So.
Because it all speaks for itself.
Yeah.
There's certain words, like you said, that you just, when it comes down to talking about a quality of use like that, it's just like, you just said that,
Yeah.
It's like they about to cut up.
People say it for you. You don't have to say it. Being humble is something I always see people say for other people. The real humble people.
And it's a continuous thing that I feel like that people are like, oh, I'm humble.
Right. Yeah, and it really feels like when I see people do that, it feels like the opposite.
You know what other word gets on my nerves? The people just saying wise.
Yeah.
That they gonna keep it 100 and they keep it 100. You need to say that you do.
Right. Exactly. You just do it.
You just do it.
You just do it, and people say it for you. You know what I'm saying? The things that you are, people believe it when others tell them. You ain't gotta. I mean, but some people are. That's a part of what make other people them. Is they are great salesmen. And I need to work on that. I do need to be a better salesman. But that it's just that ain't.
You just chill.
Yeah, I'll be chilling.
You chill like that.
I'll be chilling until it's time to turn up.
Right.
I mean, otherwise, I'm chilling.
And we're looking forward to what you have to come this year.
Yeah.
New projects.
Yep.
Live shows. So you got to keep me up to date and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. But for those who aren't already following you, how can they keep up to date with you as far as socials is concerned?
Yeah. Now you can follow me on all socials at Just Gemaine. JustGemaine. No R. No R.
No R. How many times have people tried to put R's?
It's so funny.
Countless, right?
They don't. It don't even be they fault this half of the time anymore. It be Siri fault. Siri be putting the R in the name.
Mm-hmm.
So
putting a J there too.
Right. I can't even get mad at it. But
no.
it's family that still think my name got an R in it. So
what?
It's just like that. Like I just don't trip. I don't even care.
Family thinking that you had all.
Yeah, I just don't even be tripping on it.
Like, all right, it just...
Yeah, it's like, y'all can have it as long as y'all saying my name right.
Right.
Which they not, but, it's close enough. It's close enough.
They don't pronounce your name right, too, sometimes?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they say Germaine, It's really Gemaine. So,
well, for those who didn't know, you just have the record straight on how to...
Gemaine. Gemaine is my name.